despite nothings and everythings, haves and have-nots, knowings and unknowings, readies and unreadies, or precisely because of all these, it does not matter. It does not matter. What matters is with what is the reality we find ourselves composed in. What is the context? What is the motivation? What is the destination? What is the narrative? Where does it go? How does it go? What is the aim? What is the driving hope? I personally do not find these sorts of questions actually all that helpful because there is no definitive answer. There is no right answer. All answers, if honest and true, are correct. Doesn't say a thing to whether they are good or bad, healthy or unhealthy, productive or unproductive, feasible or unfeasible. To simply be able to ask the question and say, I don't know, is a great freedom. No one has to agree with me. There is nothing requiring agreement. There is no argument. There is no side. I am not here to convince anyone of anything. I gave up that power, which I never actually had to begin with. I am, however, going to speak the words that come across my field of vision as they happen in real time, on demand, unscripted, unrehearsed. Tons of practice, though. It is not magic, but to me it feels like it. It really does. You know if you know, you know. Bringing people in, or being brought in, letting people hear the language of the heart. Hear that not only is it okay and welcome, it is supported and encouraged. No one here is going to use anything against you. No one is out to get you. By now, I don't know exactly what parts of my own story I should be, ought to be, used to be embarrassed about. If I don't mention certain elements as often as others, it is only because I don't feel it necessary or appropriate. I delve as deep as I seem to feel. Whatever it is I do, however it is I do it, works somehow. People say nice things every so often. I don't feel ridiculed, out of place, out of time, out of phase, with the accepted reality which I find myself a part of. I'm still a bit anachronistic. I do not get the technology of the past decade or more. I fell by the wayside in the mid-2000s when I basically shut down all living operations and mostly focused on myself and my drinking. So I wake up a newbie to technology of the times, and platforms and gizmos and gadgets and newfound rules and etiquettes and of politenesses and protocols. I like to play the part of diplomat, but I am learning the culture still. I have technology-related little questions and have relegated myself to not knowing and figuring stuff out as I go, possibly looking the fool, being impolite or other unknowns, oblivious to that which I do not know. I do like the anonymity of the online world, but I do not trust it, obviously. My perceptions are not done any favors by having digital walls obscuring information. I do best in first person, despite myself, despite awkwardness and uncomfortability. There is way too much data loss in translation, too much voice lost, too much nuance, emphasis, inflection, and character that just don't get a say in the matter. And the moment is gone. It never was. Everything happens for a reason is bitter comfort, but true. And there is always another time, another chance, another opportunity to make it better, or let it be better, or embrace it as is, or leave it be as is. What uncertain times. It's kind of sort of great in a way. Now will never be again. I hope it is a good now. It has been a good year for me, the rolling year since this day back in 2019 up to now. I wouldn't change a thing. Everything is going according to plan. It's just not my plan, and I don't know what the plan is. It is set in motion, though, and I do have a choice. I don't know how long or what part I have in the tomorrows yet to be, but as long as I keep waking up for them, I suppose I will keep trying. What else is there to do? Lament and despair over all the things I have no say in, no control over, want but don't have but don't want? Bah humbug! Humbug, I tell you. Do as you please. And while you're doing that, I will be over here doing this. It is a wonderful life after all. I have been afforded so much ample grace and mercy that it is truly confounding as to how I could possibly find my life a pitiable one. It is difficult, but I do manage sometimes. But it is only because I forget at those times. It doesn't take me as long to smile these days, to remember these days, these halcyon days. It has been a good year. I still don't like masks, though. Ugh. Mm. Mm. Mm.